Thus I have heard, at one time the Blessed One was dwelling in the royal domain of Vulture Peak Mountain, with a great gathering of monks and a great assembly of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Blessed One was absorbed in the samadhi of the many aspects of phenomena called profound appearance. At the same time, noble Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva Mahasattva, looking at the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom, saw the five skandhas in their natural emptiness. Then, through the power of the Buddha, Venerable Shariputra said to the noble Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva Mahasattva, "How should a son of the lineage trained who wishes to follow the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom?" Thus he spoke, and the noble Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva Mahasattva answered the Venerable Shariputra with these words, "Shariputra, those men and women of the lineage who wish to follow the practice of the profound perfection of wisdom should look at it like this. The five skandhas should be seen purely in their natural emptiness. Form is empty, emptiness is form. Emptiness is not other than form. Form also is not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, recognition, compositional factors, and consciousness are empty. Shariputra, like this, all phenomena are emptiness, and having no characteristics, they are unborn and unceasing. They are not impure or pure. They neither decrease nor increase. Therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no recognition, no compositional factors, no consciousness, no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no appearance, no sound, no smell, no taste, no sensation, no phenomena. There is no quality of sight, and so on, until no quality of mind and no quality of mental consciousness. There is no ignorance and no exhaustion of ignorance, and so on, up to no old age and death, and no exhaustion of old age and death. In the same way, there is no suffering, no origin, no ending, and no path, no wisdom, no attainment, and no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, since there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and abide by means of the profound perfection of wisdom. And since their minds have no obscurations, they have no fear. Transcending falsity, they attain nirvana. All the Buddhas who dwell in the three times have relied upon the perfection of wisdom, and have become true and complete Buddhas of unsurpassable, perfect, and complete enlightenment. Therefore, the mantra of the profound perfection of wisdom, the mantra of insight, the unsurpassed mantra, the unequaled mantra, the mantra which calms all suffering should be known as truth, for it is not deceptive. The mantra of the perfection of wisdom is proclaimed. Teata Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhi Soha. Shariputra, this is how a bodhisattva mahasattva should train in the profound perfection of wisdom. Then the Blessed One arose from that samadhi and said to the bodhisattva mahasattva, noble Avalokiteshvara, that he had spoken well. Well done, O son of the lineage, it is so. O son of the lineage, since it is just so, the profound perfection of wisdom should be practiced just as you have taught, and the Tathagatas will also rejoice. When the Blessed One had said this, the Venerable Sharadvati Putra and noble Avalokiteshvara Bodhisattva Mahasattva and the entire gathering, as well as worldly beings, gods, humans, asuras, and Gandharvas, rejoiced and praised the words of the Blessed One.
Lam Rim Traditionally, when the Lam Rim teaching is given, prior to the teachings, there is a recitation, requirement of recitation, such as 6 preliminary practices, followed by the supplication to the lineage gurus of the Lam Rim Chenmo. So now, as usual, we are shaping our motivations.
So teaching
So motivation should be always, it is just reinforcing our motivations, because we should always, as a practitioners, the positive motivation must be present at all time. For instance, you ask yourself and think about yesterday, I will be going to receive the teachings tomorrow on Sunday, and then you ask the question to yourself, for what purpose that you're going there? With this kind of question will enables you to prepare your motivations. So, according to the Kadamba practitioners, the great Kadamba practitioners have the slogans that if I do not die after a couple of days, I will prepare for a better rebirth in my next life. And if I am fortunate enough to live a couple of months, and I'll have a time to prepare myself to free myself from samsara, to attain liberations. Then if I were to live for a couple of years, then I'll have time to engage in the practice, not only to liberations, but to state of enlightenment. So if one's motivation is always influenced by that kind of thoughts, then your entire practice will not become worthless, rather it become purposeful. So what is meant by, saying that if I do not die for 2 days, a couple of days, and months and years, which really entails that, encapsulates the entire, the teachings of Lam Rim Chenmo, which is the practice of small scope, practice of middling scope, and practice of great scopes. So this is the kind of motivation that we need to cultivate. With this kind of cultivation of one's motivations, then one is receiving the teachings of the Lam Rim Chenmo. So now you should focus on visualizing the Buddha in front of oneself. So our entire practice of the Dharma, such as visualization and so forth, are to welfare of all other sentient beings. It is not to benefit oneself, but for the benefit of all other sentient beings. So if we were to spend our entire time for the purpose of our present life, such as, shelter, name, and so forth. And this is something that's not unique to human beings. That is, this can be accomplished by even the birds. In fact, the birds is such an organized way of, fulfilling or accomplishing their, purposes. So we as human beings, our purpose is somewhat different. Our purpose is more meaningful and purposeful. So let's spend 3 minutes to visualize Buddha Shakyamuni. With these positive motivations, you are receiving the teachings of Lam Rim Chenmo. So, when you look at the teachings of the Lam Rim Chenmo, you will see a volumes of a book in front of oneself. But if you really engage in the practice, it is given in a very systematic order, beginning from the practice of small scopes, leading to, middling scope, all the way to the state of enlightenment, the great scope. So just by receiving the teachings and listening to the teachings of the Dharma, that's not adequate. It is like some object that you have borrowed from somebody else. But whatever the teachings that you have received and you have heard should be put into practice through the contemplations. So therefore, just hearing the teachings or listening to the teachings must be contemplated. And this contemplation will lead one's practice into a meditations. This will then become a complete set of practice.
Sheba sing, tuni sheba rwa, sheba de beda me na nasa tele sheba sanji pento ki me warwa, me de tuni nasa tele chago rwa.
So it is just as it is not enough just to identify the sickness or the diagnosis, diagnose the illness of certain person. Having identified the particular sickness, in order to cure that sickness, one need to rely upon a physician, and medicine must be used properly as per the advice of physician.
Dendruki tusan gonsong rangi le jene, ngone tone ki tsende shik kanga le tendu dechi yunwe yene, tauchi le yene ngasun juwe yene da asala.
So what we are doing here is now not only just listening to the teachings of the Dharma, we are listening and hearing the teachings of the Dharma and contemplating the meaning of the teachings of the Dharma. That meaning that you have understood through one's contemplation must be meditated upon. So this is the purpose of our receiving of the teachings of the Dharma.
Dendruki jebule tenbi senla tongsan chi ma le na sen pati nyato chani, zupo ya senbi sotu kumare.
So this is what we need to know about receiving the teachings, because when you are receiving the teachings, if you have a purpose of receiving the teachings, and if you see what is to be done once you have received the teachings, then you are actually seeing the result of your teachings. Although that you may have not achieved the result, but you know what kind of result that is to be achieved, by receiving the teachings of the Dharma. Otherwise, if you are not being able to see the result, what is to be accomplished, then you will not have a keen interest in receiving the teachings.
당한 치바제네 토만 땜바 투병 보기서 네 바데 네 자가기 빈도 나지죠 말 대인제 봐서 대이제네 자가 베지 네 로자와 나지죠 아니 타마 정원로 정원을 지면 땡라페 당가서 거서 보면 대이용대 친이제로 와서.
So the teachings that we are engaging today, it is the teachings, the source of the teaching is given by the Buddha Shakyamuni. It is which is then commentated by the great Indian masters, which then translated into Tibetan by the great Tibetan translators, are then and again in Tibetan commentated by the great scholars such as Lam Rim Chenmo and so on. So the meaning of this text, or the subject matter of this particular text, is a systematic order of the practice done by those great masters. In order to accomplish one's purpose of receiving the teachings, then it is very important for us to prepare one's motivations, cultivating a positive motivations upon which one can build one's spiritual development. So which will then begin from the actual teachings of the Jiangsu Lam Rim Chenmo, with two important headings, or the two important outlines of relying upon the one's spiritual teacher, having relied upon the teachers, and how one can train oneself, one's mind, by relying upon the teachings, teacher.
당연히 사실이다. 아니 런지 자와신 니지. 다 동보 런지 자와신 니 비치된 루사지. 다 되는 로제다 장애를 말아 니지. 아니 대대는 니 볼렘 비시 그와 니 보제 단렘 비치니. 다 동보리서. 다 니 보제 단렘 비치되라 니지. 런지 나자란 니 받자 시다 니 볼렘 생어지. 다 동보리서. 다 니 볼렘 생어되라 성지. 주부 중요한 대모의 런지를 만나서는지 주변진도 대모의 런지를 만나 렌스 주부 챔비언 런지를 만나서 렌스 다 동버리서 다 주변진도 대모의 런지를 만나서 렌스는 시지 주변 쟁게 상바 아카사 주변 쟁게 렌도 그래서 주변진도 대모의 런지를 만나서 렌스는 시지 주변 쟁게 상바 장원 대집에 될로 로바도 봐세와 타바다 대접이 런지랑 시대나 봐봐지 다 동보 타방가서 리치 에마르 동보라 타방가서 와다 대집에 타오지 다 대집에 타 동보리사 대집에 타달라 니리 동해다 견주되면 거는 상바다 된대연나 진영거는 상바 니제는 맞서 거서 봐봐 아니 코알에 타지 된대연나 준이되게 거는 간도 코알 고고여리 아니 대기 내세디 셔는 코알 타지디 셔고라 대기 된다래 거서 봐버려야 돼서
At this particular time that we're on the chapter of dependent originations, and by understanding dependent originations, studying dependent originations will enable one to understand how we are revolving, how we as sentient beings are revolving within the cyclic existence, and having understood that, and how can we reverse this order of dependent originations. So we are on the particular chapter of dependent originations, and the dependent originations, how the dependent originations, the 12 links of dependent origination is completed within the one lifetime, this within the present lifetime. So with these two questions will really give you to understand what is meant by dependent originations. The first is why we have taken rebirth on this planet Earth, in this particular world, and what kind of rebirth that one may have in the futures. With these two kind of questions, you should, when you ask these questions, will then take you to the 12 links of dependent originations. So what is important for us is we need to first to know how to identify the 12 links of dependent originations in a proper order, and then you can group this in a different categories. With 12, there are 12. Then this can be grouped into 3, 4, and so forth. So if you are able to do that, then this will really gives you actual to understand the actual meaning of what is meant by 12 links of dependent originations. So, with understanding the dependent originations, then you will know the fence or the cage that we are kept in, and how we can break through this fence or how we can break through this cage. So, in this case, the most important for us to focus is to think about the one in the line of the three principles of the path, that you are kept in the still cage of the grasping itself, self-grasping.
다 던저기 단세기 짜제기 자와데 메제다지 생원주 샹주 많이 봐 랑기 단단가 생에대다 무비네스기 가세니 진신이 보데 가르 넘버 메티비 전에 소용거로.
So then we are kept in the still cage of the grasping itself. And it is not, we are not captured by someone else. There is no other in a third person who actually force you to be in the cage, the still cage, but you yourself. We ourselves is the one who create the causes and conditions to be in the cage, the still cage, which is self-grasping mind. So long as you have the self-grasping mind, you are actually creating yourself to be in the still cage.
단신을 거기 싸워서 이제대로. 된저 양라 중에도 거기 제용으로 콜 제용도.
It is therefore the self-grasping mind, grasping itself, is said to be the root of cyclic existence, the root of samsara.
또 진짜 전에 데린 거 써발해요. 그 제바시 그러네요. 다다란데 마스로. 된저 양라 중에도. 지다 그 시고요. 그 된이 됐어요. 사람 나오죠.
Since you are being the first time today, I'm pretty sure, Rinpoche is saying, pretty sure that you actually know the 12 things of different originations. We should actually go through the detail, but we have already halfway of the 12 things of different originations. But I'm pretty sure that, and Rinpoche also said he hoped that you actually know, you have a little background of this 12 things of different originations.
그 가서 하도 그 melod는 가 신다질 이만 메게도 투녀도 하고 그 melod는 가 도와줘 줘도에 콜 melod도 아니 그거 같은 페이스북도 저 간도에 메시 계시더라 내가 지금 전에 저 자원도에서 듣는 저 같은 코티 송조 용문에서 그 melod도 저 동도 돼 그 님아지 melod는 가진 하지 않다 줘도에 저 melod도 저 동도 힘만 같이 통요 거
라소
되게 전에 되는 게 영어래
So keep Rinpoche is mentioning about, what's your name, please? I'm sorry. Lang. So the Lang, came to know Rinpoche. She knows Rinpoche at one time somewhere, and then in between there's no contact. But then finally she also had a dream of Rinpoche, and then she found the Facebook, and now she's here. So when Rinpoche was with the Banti, and so then she came there, and then So now let's focus on our actual the text. So the question is here now, this 12 links of different originations, for how many, in order to complete the 12 links of different originations, for how many, lifetime is required? So now let's talk about here two things, which is very important. So now, how many? What is the causal dependent originations, and what is the resultant, dependent originations? So those two are these are the two things that is very important for us to understand.
아니 세트를 좀 먼저 대신 과 도들어야.
So if you know these two, then you will understand how many lifetime is required to actually complete this 12 links of dependent originations.
방은 저 거대 버려더라. 당 단대 천대 저와시면 로알라 동부 가를 거래. 단지 도미 말이 발거라. 말이 바게 레트 사거라 시면 거지. 되니 줄에도.
So now here first, in order to take a rebirth, right? First, you have this maripa, which is ignorance. And it is due to the ignorance one accumulate karma or engaging in the actions that enables one to accumulate karma.
양라 동번이 되지 차송아.
So these two are the causal dependent originations.
양라 니빠텔라 람림 쳔모는 양라 나시제 텐데된 주디지 나시 텐데는 냥도 자도. 맞아 배사이나 나시제 텐데는 레디 나시 텐데 처리라 그래.
So, however, in the Lam Rim Chenmo, the consciousness, the third dependent originations, is also
니시도 차 레디 나시 텐데다 주디 나시 텐데니까 손반 나시 텐데 자도.
in the Namshi Tendi Nija. So in the Lam Rim Chenmo, it's mentioned that the consciousness there are of two different kinds. One is the causal dependent origination, and one belongs to the resultant dependent originations. However, in the other texts, such as Paramita that we have studied, that was what Rinpoche has studied, is that that consciousness is said to be the resultant dependent originations. It is not a causal, dependent originations at all.
다 텐데기 나시제 텐데를 차니 장이나 주디기 나시 텐데라 차지자의 차도와 차지도만 제도 거도라. 때 맞아는 짜마시 샤와이나 레딜 자샤와이나 줄라 다 동번인데 제지로. 되네 나시제 텐데 아밍에도 조선 참을 자송하나 되네 초이 텐데 봐도 가르 되요 말에. 되요 사이 되지 되요.
So here now in this according to the Lam Rim Chenmo, so consciousness can be of two. One is a causal dependent origination, so other is the resultant dependent originations.
가르선 아밍에 등에 사자면 텐데 시먹으러 레디지 나시 텐데 아니 가르 숨반 레디 제바 메주로 아니 나바 가르 진치라
계치로
주바 레바로 림바 소와로 디네마 가센도
서 렘바지
나간도
어딘가도 롱 들어와
나보던 레디지 텐데 땡큐서
민수
텐데
남시 제로 남시
메주
민수제
진치
계치로
레바 소와
라바 소와
나타다
나르실로 데 단데 제리기 들어와
레디지 나치 동봉가 자다 방지는 로나.
So now if you go through this in the sequential order of the resultant dependent originations, begins from the consciousness here, and then name and a form, and then source of perception, getchi, and then contact and feeling. So those five are said to be a resultant dependent originations.
다 되네 만도디 다 dimba patton ro sarero 다 jeba seba goba lemba juba seba sombote ju tende thank you baro
ju tende
thank you.
So that then the next three are the craving, grasping, and becoming are the causal dependent originations.
다 저와시마 저와 렘바도 gengo chane shiba nimbote ready thank you baro.
So then the birth and the agings are the resultant dependent originations.
다 텐데 양라 진이 노게 주인 바데 ngayores 아니 ngai thone junil kasla 다 딩 라그레가
ngani dinro junil.
진짜 딩데 가르네 레비 텐데 res.
So now how you can divide those resultant dependent originations and the causal dependent originations. So there are 5 resultant dependent originations, and then 7 causal dependent originations. So you can divide this here: consciousness, name and form, source of perception, contact, and feelings are the resultant. Those 5 are the resultant dependent originations, and then remaining 7 are the causal dependent originations.
단계 나시디 나시 된지 레븐 맞 동사래다. 찬이 시에 말했어라.
So now here we already counted that's the consciousness as a resultant dependent originations.
그 고안이 장애에는 근데 스체된 잠을 가르쳐와도 간을 해거든. 이제만 저와도 간을도 그래. 세된 레히 따다 저도 그렇게 년에 제투는 맞도 들어.
So if you are not only just hearing 1 time or 2 times, but rather whatever the teachings, dependent origination, the teachings on 12 links of dependent origination that you have heard, then you try to read through it, and then divide those into causal and resultant, will then enables you to understand how sentient beings are taking rebirth within the cyclic existence.
야, 당연히 로상이다. 근데 세번도 되는 말도 와. 숨버 셋달라 줘봐 내서. 그래도 더 나니.
빈 딘마 레벨라. 숨버 셋들 재미나.
디바
디바는데 텐데 도레드케와 지구드베 야라도 잖아. 같이 대다기 예매 소송수 사이지. 딘마 대지.
예매 소송수 내가 로그 간 배치다래. 대단하서 렌들로 뭐 비마리바세 있더라.
나와 딘마.
내가 가서 놓으면 돼.
딜로면 들어. 이 디바 따게 없이.
더 아니다. 간 로그인다.
맞습니다.
아니 때 제단 코데와 가서 가서 렌들로 뭐 비마리바게 레서 하다. 아니 가르 때 코나니로 뭐 비마리바게 레서 하기 된다 되게 들어와.
So now the passage that we are reading through is actually explains how we accumulate karma by means of the grasping at self, or the ignorance pertaining to self, and the ignorance pertaining to the self of phenomena.
어디 대단해서 렌들로 뭐 비마리베 끼는 한비 메게위 레전디시 말레 디시 진난시라 랭에비 바차자네서 예소송진 제디진 나시 소유바도 교론도 시아바데 세네니제 양양수도 발레제 바차 퇴진된 전에 심망연로 제신에서 년로 제가라 소바 줄라서 양 다음에 베테고도 지테발로에 창소로샤 고물루드세바 로샤냐
그래서
양 다음에 베테 코나니라 모비 마리베 끼네 한빈 데 칸치 디비 추튼라 소비 선나진 디시 칸오메 디비 시네강바소 마여윈 디시 나셰레 레존보 파차자네스 디비 덴로단 칸코미 라이 제디지 나셰네 소유바도 조론데 셰바데 시네제 양양 수요다바 레지 파차 퇴젠데 손에 심마 덴로 대다도 제와 소 주보 대답이 연락 진입보데 녀몬다 레다 동행지 손도 되바 인데 고물루주지에서
So we're on page 321, starting from the passage number is 254. So which begins from, this being the case, the actualization should be understood as follows. Non-virtuous compositional activities that is motivated by ignorance about karma and its effects deposits latent propensities of bad karma in the consciousness. This makes ready for actualization the group of factors of miserable rebirth that begins with the resultant period consciousness and ends with the feelings. Through repeated nurturing by the craving and grasping, these latent propensities are empowered, and birth, aging, and so forth will be actualized in subsequent miserable rebirths. Alternatively, motivated by ignorance about the meaning of selflessness, meritorious compositional activities such as ethical discipline within the desire realms, or the invariable compositional activities such as the cultivation of meditative serenity within the high deities realms, deposit latent propensities of good karma in the consciousness. This makes ready for the actualization the group of factors, beginning with the resultant period consciousness and ending with the feeling for respectively a happy rebirth in the desire realms or the rebirth as a deity in high realms. Through repeated nurturing by craving and grasping, these latent propensities are empowered, and the subsequently birth and so forth will be actualized in those happy rebirths. The 12 factors, moreover, are subsumed under the three parts, those of the afflictions, karma, and sufferings, as the wise Nagarjuna said. So here it's very clear in the text. See, the 12 factors are subsumed under the three paths, those of the affliction, karma, and suffering, right? So here in the text it says, the first, the 8th, and the 9th are afflictions. The 2nd and the 10th are karma, and the remaining 7 are sufferings. So it's a very clear. That's one. So when speaking about the 12 links of different originations, we're speaking about the suffering and origin of suffering, suffering and the origin of sufferings. So we cannot really explain, the 12 links of different originations apart from suffering and origin of sufferings. So karma and the afflictions are said to be the origin of sufferings. The seven are the sufferings. So the origin of suffering is a cause of suffering, right? And which is ignorance. That is the cause of suffering. So how does suffering coming into being? The question is, suffering coming into being due to karma, and then how the karma is accumulated. Karma is accumulated due to ignorance. So this is how the one dependent upon another. Yes, sir. So now let's talk about those first one, the 1st, the 8th, and the 9th. Those 3 are said to be the affliction, right? Or afflictions. First one is the ignorance. And then 8 is the craving. And then the 9th one is the grasping. So those 3 are the afflictions.
양라니 반데시 레로.
long.
주바 시바로.
Juba sipa
세디
ji.
케니 레로.
So then the next it says the second and the 10 are karma, right? Second is one is a compositional activity. This is, and then the 10th is becoming. Those two are the karma.
데 코스 주바 시바라 미타도. 주바 맞아 주바 시 레라 시바스 미타게 제비 미절 타바르슬라소.
No.
이제 주바 시바스 가르치는 시바라고 시바 코아로.
No.
코아이 미드 레알 가르치는 타바르스는 제미 절 타바르슬라소.
So when the siba dirwa
시바라 미 시바스네 코이에 세바라 세바마데 레로.
lerwa.
레라 시바스 미 가르치는 타바르슬라나. 레라 코아제로. 제비 코아로.
So
코이미 제미
it
절
is, the cyclic existence of the cyclic existence, becoming oneself as the cyclic being or the samsaric being, is coming into being due to one's own karma. Karma is the one that caused oneself to take a rebirth within the cyclic existence.
당가 주된데 양라 진유 지시나요. 덴바시시고 하바송시고. 양 denshi 지시에서는 된데 양라 진유 덴바시시고. 쉬어탄지 지진랑지 치셔봐서인지로. 내가 쇼제를 지구가 최소는 참수시에를 미다시미시래마도.
So it is very important to study and understand the 12 links of dependent originations, because once you're able to understand the 12 links of dependent originations and categorize those 12 links of dependent originations in a 3 different category, and then understanding the resultant dependent originations and then causal dependent originations, then you will be able to understand how beings are actually trapped within the cyclic existence, which then enables you to understand 4 noble truths, 2 truths, and so forth. So this understanding of 12 links of dependent originations is a very, very important.
그래서 단지기 로쇼시에서 남의 도 싫어시에 그러와 랑덴시에로 그래 뉴모기 뻔비 쇼시에서나 고덴시에 그러와.
Because when you understand the ignorance, how the ignorance enables us to engage in negative deeds, then you'll be able to find the remedy for that particular ignorance. And then when speaking about the remedy, then the wisdom, understanding, selflessness coming into picture. So then you already understood the Lamden, which is the truth, the path, noble path of truth of noble path. Mm-hmm. 4 noble truths. Among the 4 noble truths, the path, you have noble. What is that? What am I saying now? Truth of noble, truth of path, noble truth of path. Sorry, that's what I mean to say. Yeah, noble truth of path. You hope understood. So this is how one understands everything. If you understand one of this, the 12 links, that chain of 12 links of dependent originations will enable you to understand 4 noble truths and the cause of sufferings and so forth. So let's read through this and then we'll take a break. The Right Settling Sutra, Salisadamba Sutra, it mentions 4 causes which subsume the 12 factors of the dependent arising. It explained that when the seeds of consciousness sown in the field of karma by ignorance are subsequently moistened by the water of craving, they give rise to the sprout of name and form in the mother's womb. Just take your time and then read this passage and then try to understand the meaning. It is not difficult at all. And so if you just listen one time and then read one time, will not give you understand the actual meaning. Otherwise, then everything just become a textual knowledge. And then just say, oh, no, I read through it. This is Buddha's teaching, I read it, I knew it. And then when it comes to the actual practical, when it comes to the experiential understanding, then it becomes zero. So it is better for us to read and contemplate and think over and over again. Let's take a break here.
Sanje shendo me de bewa ye Drogun nanda shen la sheba jo ye dong guru ra Min re na nga na ya na ya min she ya, ta nga tsu 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 se tian ru win da Tante de ha mo min do le sa ye ta nga tsu jidang ina nga tsu 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 go re se na tsu song le zo go
So, if we were to ask the questions, the number of lifetimes required to complete all 12 factors, 12 tenets of Dependent Origination, the answer to this question is 3 lifetimes. The most is 3 lifetimes. Requires 3 lifetimes to complete, all 12 factors. So let's read through the text again. It says, the number of lifetimes required to complete all 12 factors, right? So while it is possible for countless eons to go by between the projecting and the projected factors, it is also possible for the projected factors to be actualized in the very next lifetime with no intervening life. So then we can also ask the question, it says, why we say that within 3 lifetimes can be complete all 12 factors, since in the text it says it is possible for countless eons to go by between the projecting and the projected factors. So then, now here, one thing that we need to understand is how many of those factors are the projecting factors, or how many of them are projected factors, right? So this is again we need to understand in the 12 tenets of Dependent So now here, let's talk about why it requires a number of lifetimes to really to complete the complete all 12 factors. For instance, if you have accumulated a karma by due to ignorance to take a rebirth in a Deva realms, you have already accumulated a karma, but it is not actually moistured by the three factors again: craving, grasping, and becoming. So that you already have this karma of taking rebirth in the Deva realms, but not being moistured by those three factors. It will remain, the karma will remain within one's consciousness for eons and eons of times.
대시바 제시와 펜바다 팡바니 야와다 시시와 펜바데 양라 도미 마리 바다 가르 양라니반 디실레니바 디네마 나데 가르 팡비 데비니바 데니 발로 개바 추거르세디 저버 마미데 조코로 찍고쳤네 데로.
So the projecting are the two, right? Two of them are projecting. The first and second are the projecting, and the next five are the projected. Right?
된지서 제제 니 세진지 저 가사 제 세진지 마쳐봐 저와 니를 주바 요리에서로 세진다 지기 마쳐봐 저와 동보데 니바니 코로나 때문에 연수 줘봐 요리에서.
So since the actualizing factors, craving, grasping, and existence, and actualized factor, birth and aging and death, right? Of course, within an intervening lifetime, it is possible at the shortest to complete all 12 factors in 2 lifetimes. Again. So now, we try to think about that, contemplate.
당한도 지저와시마 변함 윤주 미치제기야나 다능할 메시지에 도미 말이 바요레 레요로 당가 마시 친체들 가르쳐거리 제바시바다 고발 렘바니 아니 야라니 빌레들 서도위디 제바시바 차로로 아니 주긴 제부 단징아요와 텐데 나보테 셋들 주로로 제비도니 제와시마 주요.
So now what it happened here is now projecting those two projecting factors. If you have accumulated a karma, and due to ignorance, to take a rebirth in the human realms, so then what it requires to take effect of this projecting factors, you need to have those craving and grasping and becoming to condition this karma, to mature this karma, to give rise to its fruitions. So if within this lifetime, if it is not happen, if these three factors are not being able to, condition to those to the karma, then just by having karma alone will not enables you to take a rebirth in a human realms. But you do have karma, you already have a seed still there.
저는 거대고요로 연락이번 디시지 레텔라 고바세바도 제바세바도 고발 렘바니기 수마다나 그 깨발서 내로로.
So although that you may have committed actions and you can accumulated karma, but so long as this karma is not moistured or the conditioned by the 8 and 9 factors, then it will still remain as a karma, as a seed, not giving rise to its sprout. It can remain for eons and eons too.
제바세바도 고발 렘바니 줄리레라서 사백 강부치 강노 로보타스만 nen초로. 줄리의 사마테나
The 8 factors, which is craving, 8th factor, and the 9th factor, which is grasping. So those two are analogous to water and manure, which enables the sprout, giving rise to a sprout. Just like if you have a seed, so long as the seed is not, conditioned by the moistures and the, suitable soil and so forth, the seed will remain as a seed. It will not give rise to a sprout. This is the same way.
그 고알이야라다. 연락이번 디실레다 사변레자 제바실레니데 칠류레자네 코마테나다 가디는 에그레 세지지. 개발소면 내대.
So here now the first two are the seed, right? And then 8 and 9th are the conditioning. So long as the first two are not conditioned by those 8 and 9th, it will always remain as a dry seed. It will always remain as a seed, but not giving rise to its fruition.
대니기 만약에 지와 뭐 쳐봐도 지와 진짜 쳐러가 말해라서 가르쳐래라다.
그렇죠, 그렇죠.
단지 진행 로 개발 못하라서 뭐 지와 처음에 받대기 단단가서 땡지 채송을 저거라서 개와 쳐비 콩는 말로 가르쳐래서라나.
이디 따고 야고 지원스러운 생겼습니다.
단지 채송을 저거라로. 채송을 뭐 줘도 지와 못하 뭐지 바로 차송하잖아. 지와 못하 뭐보다 채송 콩는 뭐지 가르쳐래서라다.
So then, this is why you see why it is possible to, for countless eons to go by, and then at the same time you also see that it can be, completed within the 3 lifetime, and it's kind of if you do not look at it and contemplate it and try to understand, then you see a contradictions there. Once it says it is possible for the countless eons to go by between the 12 factors, to complete the 12 factors. Then on the other hand, it says it can be completed within three lifetimes and so on. So of course, the one of the 12 factors, one of the 12 factors must be completed within one lifetime.
nyongwa chubi lesa to sa na de itse mariba dan ni shi ni judu ji na shi ji tende ni yala shedan son ta na shi ji tende shedan ma ja sha shedan son dan ni chuka chenche je ni sene ji seba son de zola as jiwa shima ni pambe yala nga chubi ni senyin la zo joro as de senyin zo se se
So then here it says, so you might, for example, in a lifetime such as this one first accumulate karma that result in rebirth as a deity, as well as the subsequent experience of deity's life and resources. When this occurs, 2.5 factors, ignorance, composition, activity, and consciousness of the causal period, as well as the craving, grasping, and existence up to the point of death, are completed in this lifetime. In the subsequent lifetime, the 4.5 projected factor consciousness of the resultant period, name and form, and the 6 sources, contact and feelings, and the 2 actualized factors, birth and aging and death, will be completed.
더 체인을 줘도 세고 차그로 대단한 수제당 체인을 줘도 곧대 보여요. 아니 다 체송을 줘서나 가를 체송 가를 하거든. 이게 봐도 체인을 줘보러 왔을라나. 아니 유리나 체송을 먼저대서도.
So here it says it can be completed within 2 lifetimes, and then if not, then it takes 3 lifetimes to complete the 12 factors. So now, if any one of you can think about how possible it is to complete all 12 factors within 3 lifetimes. If anyone which is asking a question. So those 7 factors are always be present. If you look at the 7 factors.
다 연락 돈비 말이 받아 아니 니반 디시제 레니 카카시아사 문도알라다.
So then ignorance and karma cannot be separated. These two are always work hand to hand. And it can be completed within one lifetime. So then again no. So then also the birth, aging and death can be completed within one life. So this cannot be separated. Once you are taking a birth, you are certain to it is certain to be death as well. So what really prevents to complete the 12 factors within one lifetime or the 2 lifetime is the 8 factor. That out of those 12, there's 8 factors and the 9 factors. When your karma is not conditioned by those 8 and 9 factors, then the karma remains as a seed, and you will carry on the karma from one life to another lifetime. No. So then also there's also differentiates, the seed is actually met with the moisture but not having a proper other conditions such as manures and so forth. And then also the seed actually met with a proper manure but there's no moistures and so on. So then here you have so one of the 12 one of the factors must be always completed within one's lifetime. And so then here we talked about earlier, there's 5 factors and there's 7 factors, right? That's 5 factors and the 7 factors. So even at the longest completion of, let's go through the text again here. Even at the longest completion of all 12 factors will be delayed no longer than the 3 lifetimes for the actualizers, craving, grasping, and existence. The 2 actualized factors, birth and aging and death, and the 3 projecting factors, ignorance, compositional activities, and consciousness, all require their own lifetimes, while the projected factors, name and form, and 6 sources, contact and feeling, are included in the lifetime of the actualized factor. Furthermore, though many lifetimes may intervene between the projectors and actualizers, they are not lifetimes of their own particular cycle of dependent arising, but are rather lifetime of the cycle of dependent arising of other. What is that? Of other cycles of dependent arising, right? Among this calculation of the 2 or 3 lifetimes, the lifetime of the intermediate state have not been reckoned separately. So if you look at ourselves at this point, we have hundreds and thousands of the projecting factors within us. So we have the hundreds and thousands of the projecting factor within us, in our consciousness. Now, what is to be projected, having accumulated the numerous projecting factor within us? So it depends on which the projecting factors are conditioned by the 8 and 9 factors will give rise to its fruition earlier. So let's read through the text here again. So here it's pretty clear again here. Thus, even during the lifetime in which the resultant factors have been actualized, there's no self that is the person who accumulates karma or experiences its result. Rather, as previously explained, the resultant factors, which are themselves merely phenomena arising from causal factors, which are themselves merely phenomena. So, not understanding this process of cyclic existence and being confused about it, you possess a self. So, desiring yourself to be happy, and you physically and verbally and mentally engage in virtue and non-virtues for that purpose, whereby you again feel the process of cyclic existence. Therefore, the 2 karmic factors, compositional activity and existence, arise from the 3 afflictive factors, ignorance, craving, and grasping. And from them, the 7 sufferings factors, consciousness, name, and a form, source, context, feeling, birth, aging, and death arise. Affliction arises again out of the 7 factors, 7 sufferings, and as before, you pass through the cyclic existence. Thus, the wheel of existence turn without interruptions. the Master Nagarjuna says, in the heart of the dependent arisings.
Tinda, Tanda Gasu Karare, Tanda Gasu Tende Yana Junior Karare, Drubi Kasa, Pembi Karare, Pemba, Druba, the Drubaro, Tanda Gasu Drubi Zero, Tanda Gasu Kumba the Drubi Zero, Tende Yana Jini, Kochi, then General, a get and run the tail Gojiro.
So we are now, right now, it's an actualized state of the 12 dependent originations.
Mapenji, Tendijita, Chine, and Tenji, Kochi Zodo, Tangazo, so Napenji Leti, Kochi Zodo Chigoro.
So we're about to complete one projecting factors of the of 12 things of dependent originations.
Redangasu Karim Gochigo Marisana, Roa, Le Sabo Bosenere, Jabonyo Bosengi, Kansa Sengi Kanji, but the Jin Gochigo.
So what is, difficult for us here is now we're not really understanding the how we accumulate karma and who is accumulating karma. In other words, the self. We're not being able to identify the self that really accumulate karma and what kind of actions that enables the person to accumulate karma. So we are completely confused, not understanding what is reality. Ignorance, in other words, the ignorance. We are ignorant of the reality. Reality, the not seeing, not understanding, not knowing the reality. So we are completely kept within the darkness of ignorance. So now here, if you were to ask the question to yourself, the self that you are identifying, the self that you have recognized, is that really exist in reality? This is the question now. So then, if that kind of self really exists, then try to find the actual mode of existence of the self. So try to analyze this. So then now, what you should do is here now to find the self. The self we always think that is there. We always think there is a self that can be pinpointed, right? That can be pinpointed, and it is something that you grasp onto it as if it is concretely existent. So then, now if we were to really analyze this, where is the self we normally grasp onto? Is it really exist within your physical body or your gross physical body? Or then if you can divide your 5 psychophysical aggregates and try to find where is the self? Is it really exist within one of the 5 aggregates and so forth? So this is how we begin to, accumulate negative karma based on not understanding the self, and it is due to erroneous belief of one's on the self. An erroneous understanding of self enables us to, force us to have attachment towards oneself and one's loved ones and so forth, and that forces us to, have aversion and the neutral feeling towards others.
dipandam de sabe tene dongen de sane ngeson de che de yi kholo khogor son do.
So this is how we actually accumulate our. This is how we actually revolve ourselves within this cyclic existence. It is with not knowing, not identifying, or not being able to, or not ascertaining the self. You may engage in virtuous deeds. You accumulate virtuous deed, and you engage in a virtuous deed that accumulate virtuous karma, which leads to the high rebirths, such as human and deva realms. And then, without knowing the self, actual self, mode of existence of the self, they accumulate negative deeds that enables one to accumulate negative karma, which give rise to rebirth within the lower realms and so forth. So, our very, mechanism of taking rebirth within the cyclic existence is caused by not understanding the reality of self.
Tintuchi che gogore nga non tu shomela na cheba telen rebuni ji doye sorowa. Chwaji dongwa ro ta kanje nga non tu jin shome che she yos tenwa yin na sorowa. Yunju tel chwa dongwa ro. Che dan diso ye se li chi.
So now, if you were to ask question to yourself, now, this is not right because whatever I'm doing is right and whatever I think the self is right. Then just ask yourself, will you be able to, really find the self that you think is really there? Will you be able to find the self that you think that can be pinpointed? It is something that is concretely existence.
Ta chai nelu de pa yusho chai nelu de pa yusho da sende yin de pa khaya ji mendo. No me na.
So, if you are not really, our understanding of self is not mistaken, then it should be found somewhere. You should be you shouldn't be really go through all kind of process of difficulties, because let alone that you are be able to accomplish our future life, the goal of future life, but even with the goal of this life alone, it's not possible for us to accomplish. We're going through all kind of process of activities and longing to achieve happiness and so forth. However, we're not really being able to achieve satisfying happiness that we are seeking for.
On sende yi deji de dremendu ka mendu che language pe marese na le mendu. Shoge ne gonda pa do zambulin be denon rono mene deji yitenda la betse chere da de pa te kan se je te mendu.
The fact that we are all, right from the beginning of our day until your retirement at night, we're doing something. We're doing something to be yourself happy, to achieve happiness. However, you are not being able to achieve the result that you are looking for. So when you think in this way, there's something wrong there. You are not really doing, and there's something missing.
Ta ngone non tu ji sho sha ro. Kasen do ba tse sha na nye mendu. Go no go do kalen jawi. Ta ngone non tu ji sho sa te kai na se tai. Disu ji lebi so ni ji ro nam che ya na.
So it is a time now to use your intellect to really to think what is wrong. I'm trying to do something to make myself happy, but that's not happening. What is wrong there? What is missing? What should I do? This is the time to ask the question to yourself.
Ta nga son ro ji na ta na pa lo ju son ji yin ne so de na bi che ji ro. Ani choran chi yo me do kari che sa na. Ngal chwa ji don chu ge tem bi son ba na yin ni ma chi je me wa. Chu se chi je me wa. Ro so le na ka che chi je me wa.
So then same thing, if I were to ask question to myself, if I ask question to myself, which he said, asked question to himself. For him, he said that for me, I've been, studying Dharma and entered the monastic community since 13 or the 14 years, at the very early teenage. But then again here, if I really ask it a real question to myself, am I really someone who engage in the practice of Dhamma according to the teachings of the Buddha? Then it's very hard for me to answer this question. Sometimes I also feel myself, even a 1 minute of my practice is not really a pure. It's always, influenced by some kind of negative. Either it is directly or indirectly, it's always there. So,
아니 저한테는 시에나니 초성에 때는 문제, 가서에 때는 문제 아니 가서 콘도선지 가려요. 제가 가려요서야지.
So why we are really then engaging in the practice? Why we have taken such a long time and put your efforts in studying the Dhamma?
그 좋아들 내저 초초요. 정으로 뭐지 있어도 상주기 센터 동료도비 로라 저런저 냥뇨 된다. 땡땡 들은 냥뇨 퇴연도 손에 베티 코로나는 냥뇨 퇴연 손과 될 손 쉬어라. 상제 상주생 패스에 대 로지니 장지 많이 봐.
So then now here, what we need to do is now, we should think about the benefits of the practice of the Dhamma and studying of the Dhamma. And for that, we need to know the essential practice of the Dhamma, which is the practice of bodhicitta and understanding the ultimate nature of reality, which is emptiness.
다 든득이 추진지 뭐에 내세기 가서 남아진 제네 되게 단다 깔아올 다 하나 열어 가서 봐.
So we have a teacher, such as the great teacher, the enlightened teacher, such as His Holiness the Dalai Lama, from whom we can receive those teachings.
상주 센터에서 도마 간지쟁이 bedin데다 제 아이나 상인들이 종료 송도와 다 대리선이 때 베트 로와 베드 냥뉴 텐도 송도.
Even the great beings such as His Holiness the Dalai Lama, from the beginning of his practice of bodhicitta, he has a lot of doubt. It is possible that one person, as an ordinary person like myself, can really accomplish such spiritual realizations. But then, if we put in effort, and over time, there's a certain, experience is taking place within one's mind stream, which encourages you to actually engage in this practice of bodhicitta and understanding the possibility of accomplishing this kind of spiritual realizations.
다 전이를 제와 남주 또 영인지는 뭐네 전에 남만을 주고 로와 텐데 되어는 가서 되고요.
So then here the question is, if we really cherish yourself, we should know how to cherish yourself properly in a correct way, in other words. So then, if we really know how to cherish yourself properly, correctly, then it is time for us to do something to have to achieve everlasting happiness.
근데 주발에 시그래 12달러 가서 되는데 진행적으로 단다 첨부진이 된 거라도 다가서 뒤에서 돌아도는 라진이 같은 데로.
So it requires studies, contemplations, meditations, because just by listening and reading one time or two times alone will not enable us to, it is not possible for us to accomplish spiritual realizations.
됐지. 당자가이나 고물루도 되로나. 고물루도 시제들로 저저 시제니도 시장이나. 가르사 손보달에 인숑때사. 아니 니레 된중 된레 장 송중시비 콜로데 니네 양도 콜 시송비 셔서 고물루도 코아코치.
So now we will go through the verse, and then we'll stop here. From the tree arises the two. from the 2 arises the 7 and the aging. So again, from the 7 arise the 3, and the wheel of existence itself repeatedly turns.
Sumbote tombo jeba gonyo mosebare. Tombo tan kasa tomi mariba tombo. Ani jeba seba goba lemba sumbote edge.
So from the 3 refers to the first factor, 8 factor, and 9 factor. Those are the 3 which are the afflictions, the group of afflictions.
Ni de yala ni bande shijele na jubasi bele ni.
So then 2 are the second factor and the 10th factors.
Ta dombote ni dongere stiche.
Then 7 are the sufferings.
Ani tendrichi yewanye kolo.
So this is due to those factors, the wheel of existence itself repeatedly turns.
Tendri yala chuni ngono kwa kuzun gombolu gi siti tetmusmendoa kale jomuto kegemendoa.
So it's only 4 lines, in other words, the one verse. The Nagarjuna is beautifully illustrated in this verse, how the 12 links of dependent originations. It explained elucidated very beautifully within those 4 lines. So, given this, eons, there's no other great masters can be identified or can be recognized as a second Buddha other than Nagarjuna. By understanding the 12 links of dependent originations, may I free myself from secular existence, as well as, so may I free all other beings and myself from the secular existence, not only to gain free from secular existence, but to lead them to the state of enlightenment. May all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the 10 directions to bless me to be able to do this. This is the dedication. Lam Rim Teachings.
Joge ma jaba, cha cha nyamba jube shode ne, nye je chenpo ye ra jaba ye, pende te de se wa she ba sho, se jen ja yue me jo chen le le, le ro shang cho lang je rin be jang, tan de na je ye la be de xin, ja yue ze ma rin du jong jo ji, la zang zhu bie de jin zhu xie jin, ge jin se jie me dan me mi gen, se ra gun du ja yue ma ba yi, na da la da zhe wa ma ju ji, pa zi de ba chu la chu chu chu, si jin zhu la zong ba de yue ce, tu de na zhi da du zhu xi jin, zha xi jiang zi shu gun chao ju ji. Na mi gu ce rao de jin, na ga chen le shu ju je ba dang, lo zang ten bi zhi me sa sun ji, ru ye min se da du ne ju ji. Ra ye bo ye xin ma su, pen dang de wa ma le ju ye ne, xin re zi wang de zi jia zo ye, xia be si de ba du de ju ji. Ba yue ji da jin ba dang, gun du zang bo de yang de jin de, de la gun ji ji su da lo xie, ge wan de da dang ji ra du mo, du zong xie bei ya wan dang ji ji, ma wa gong la chu du ma ba de, da jin ge yue zang wa de ge jang, zang bo xie ji ra du